What's up, GameLeap? This is Eeks. Don't know what that was, eh? But hey, let's get into the top 15 champions, guys, for 13.4. Who's going to be broken? Now, let me just say this, bro. You're still going to be hard stuck. Like, I don't care if you start playing Darius top. I don't care if you start playing Annie mid lane. You're still going to be plat 2, bro. You're still going to be gold 4. You're still going to be silver 3. You know what will actually help you? Is me. Yeah? Sign up to the GameLeap website. I'm serious. I'm sick saying it, bro. Every video. Like, recently I had a student go from silver 4 to gold 4 in like a week. Guess what? Those coaching sessions are condensed for you on our website, and you can easily do the same yourself. Whether I'm uploading videos or like a platinum student, diamond student, master, grandmaster student, challenger student, it doesn't matter, right? Like, every single rank, you are going to have videos to help you improve instantly in the game. It shouldn't matter what the meta is. Like, do you guys think if Teemo mid became the meta in pro play, Faker's going to fall out of challenger? Of course not, right? Because he knows how to play mid lane. That's what I can teach you. That's what we can teach you on our website. So yeah, check out those links, description, comment section, join thousands of your fellow summoners and get signed up. And yeah, let's get into the 15 most broken champions for 13.4 anyway, because that's what I have to do. Now, starting the top lane. First of all, coming in at number 3 is Jace. This dude is probably the strongest laner. Even though there are 2 very strong other laners here, Jace probably takes the cake just because, well, I don't know if you guys have like played against a good Jace, but if you go and watch T1 Zayas play this or one of the top players in the world, it looks just, oh bro, like just get me out. As soon as you see Jace picked on the enemy team in champ select, you know if the dude has some mastery points in that champion, you're gonna have a hard time. The buffs to his melee form, so his Q, his W's damage, his base AD early on, makes his laning phase even stronger. The Eclipse buff, where it's giving you ability haste now, not on map. This is an indirect buff to Jace as well, so he is number 3 for top lane. Moving to number 2. I don't know why Riot have not nerfed this champion. Seriously, she's one of the most banned champs in the game. This is Fiora. She might have like a 49-ish% win rate across the board, but play against a Fiora in lane, play against her, and this isn't just early lane, by the way, right? Laning phase doesn't end, yeah? Because it keeps going. It's not like minions stop going into lanes. You still have to side lane against Fiora in the late game, and who beats her at doing that? Like, literally no one, right? And in the early laning phase with Grass the Undying now, and Sheen, and Mana Flow, and Scorch, the damage she does, it's very difficult to beat her. Even if you're a Fiora counter pick, like maybe something like Kennen or Quinn, right? She probably still wins even in these matchups as well. So this is why Fiora is number 2. But a champion who's banned even more than Fiora still, this is Darius. And ever since like the durability meta hit in 12.10, Darius has been the go-to top laner, guys, and probably the strongest top laner. Like, I don't think I've actually made a tier list for like a year now that hasn't included Darius in the top 3 top laners. Because he loves extended fights, and that's what top lane is at the moment. Darius frosts them, right? Also, we have to take into account the teleport change, because it got nerfed in the early game. You're getting less uses out of it. If you're one of those champions that runs flash and ghosts, like Darius, you're going to be even stronger during the laning phase, and you can snowball out of control. So that's why Darius, guys, is number 1, Fiora number 2, and then Jace at number 3. So if you don't have one of those in your champion pool, stop trolling. Now, moving into the jungle, guys, we have 4 champions here, right? And again, I'm not really going to like talk in order of the champions who I think are going to be broken. I'm probably just going to like go through the champions from each role, and you guys maybe in the comment section can make your own list. Maybe you have champions who aren't even on this list who you think are going to be broken. If you think Aurelion Sol is going to be super OP, let me know in the comment section. If you think Yumi mid lane is going to be viable, let me know in the comment section. Anything you want to say, say it. Now, moving on. So yeah, in the jungle, we have 3 AP champions: Echo, Evelynn, Fiddlesticks. What do these guys have in common? Well, they're pretty much all full clearers for the most part. So if you are playing one of these champions because of the Krugs change, it makes it easier to clear the Krugs, right? Because the big Krug is going into lots of little Krugs now, makes it quicker to hit your level 4 spike. Also, as far as attack damage junglers go, there aren't really many like scary ones to play against now, especially because Graves really isn't that strong. Kindred got big nerfs, right? So as far as like early game pressure, you should be able to hit level 4 and just full clear free of charge. These champions as well have the best win rates in every single elo. Even in high reloads where you think, oh, junglers will actually put pressure on them, like I said, it's just harder to now. So if you're playing Echo, Evelynn, Fiddlesticks, good on you. Also, just try to think about your team composition. So if you have a mid laner who's attack damage, this makes it even better for you, because hopefully you will be the sole AP and you will shred everyone on the enemy team. You will get super fed. So do be careful if you have like a top laner who might be a Malphite, a mid laner who might be something like an Ahri, Syndra, any sort of AP, right? Just be careful of what your damage mix, particularly in the top side of the map, is going to look like. But honestly, probably the strongest jungler, guys, in the game at the moment, this is Shadow Kayn. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, how can blue Kayn be OP? Like, look at these stats for Kayn. But you can actually filter it, guys, so you can look at Shadow Assassin Kayn for me. This guy in Platinum and above has like a 53-54% win rate. And this is not me just making this up. The buffs have been huge. You're getting extra damage from your passive, and your Q is dealing more damage the more bonus attack damage you have, right? So in the mid to late game, pretty much once you get your form, actually, because at that point you should have something like Ghostblade, Prowlers, whatever you're building, right? You are going to hit like a truck. You are going to one-shot people. And those of you who have actually played against this, hopefully you know what I'm talking about, especially all you AD carries out there. I'm sure you guys love seeing Shadow Kayn on the enemy team now. But yeah, these are just the facts, guys. These 4 champions, Echo, Evelyn, Fiddlesticks, Kayn, Shadow Assassin, Kate. These are the best junglers for 13.4. Now, moving into the mid lane, we only have a couple of champions to mention. Now, one of these is obviously going to be Annie, right? Even though Annie got Hotfix nerfed, who cares about this? Tibbers is still Thanos without Infinity Gauntlet filled. Like, I'm legit, you can't kill him. Also, your E is actually like a legit ability now. And the fact you're starting the game with your stun ready, this makes your level 1 invade and even just like level 1 in lane particularly strong. You can just auto Q, auto attack, get an electrocute proc, whatever you're going, maybe something like Airy Comet, I don't know. I don't even care, to be honest. This champion is just outperforming everyone. That's why she has to be included. I'm sure you guys can understand. Now, Aurelia is the other champion. And the reason I really like Aurelia, not because she's just like innately good at the moment, but if we think about those AP junglers, Echo, Evelyn, Fiddlesticks, we're even seeing her picked in pro play a lot more right now. Because AP junglers are doing pretty well, Aurelia really thrives in those environments. And I'd highly recommend guys picking her when you see like an AP jungler mid lane on the enemy team in Champ Select. So if you see like a Maokai and anyone really, like an Akali picked, pick Aurelia, get Merc Tread somewhat early on, get a Wit's End after your shield bow, you're unkillable, like legit. And even though she might not have the best win rates like Fiora, let's be honest, those stats are just bogus. Aurelia is super strong right now. Now moving down to the bot lane, guys, we've got 3 AD carries to discuss. The first of these is Jhin. Now I don't think Jhin is like actually really OP in a way, it's just like his stats back it up if you're making that claim, right? So I guess I'm just including here 4 stats. And I guess like, you know, with the Eclipse change, so it's giving you ability haste now. I also think with engaged supports coming back in the meta, Jhin really likes these rather than playing, you know, with champions like Janna, Lulu, Sona, Soraka. Like if you're Jhin, you just want to engage support, land your W, land your curtain calls, GG well played bot lane. So I think Jhin being included here is justified. Now moving on, we have Twitch. So if you want to play a hyper carry, guys, and yes, if you don't have a Lulu, a Yuumi, something like that next to you, you might be worse off because you're not getting enhanced, right? But you do have an attack speed steroid in your Q anyway, and because of the recent Blade of the Rune King buff, where you're dealing more damage if you're a ranged champ in the actual on-hit percentage, this has been really good for Twitch, and you can rush this item out and then get a Kraken Slayer afterwards. Twitch as well, if we're going to talk about win rates, just like I talked about for Jhin, he's even better. He has higher win rates than Jhin, and this is in every single elo. Challenger, Master, Bronze, Gold, I don't care. Twitch is a very, very good champion according to those stats, so that's why I've included him in this video. Now the last AD carry to pick, and this might even be the best one out of all of them, this is Xayah. And because of those base attack speed buffs, also because Nuvori Quick Blades is proccing your 40% crit, they've made this champion super strong. You can actually play the game without having to worry about your ultimate cooldown all the time, because it will be on a lower cooldown from the ability heads from Nuvori, and that goes for your basic abilities as well, obviously, especially your E. You have a big threat when you throw your feathers out because your E is on such a small cooldown. And once again, guys, the stats for Xayah have kind of gone through the roof. Her win rate has gone up like 2-3% because of all of these changes, so she has to be included here. And if she isn't in your champion pool, yeah, once again, you're trolling. And if you do see a lot of close range champions on the enemy team, a lot of dive, a lot of engage, please pick Xayah. You will absolutely kill it. Now, speaking of engaged champions, guys, the last 3 champions in this video we have to discuss, well, these are all engaged supports, right? So the first one is Blitzcrank. Now, honestly, Blitz might still be like the #1 support because, yeah, with Glacial Augment and the win rate again, it's like about 51-52% in like most elos. He's a very scary champion. Also, the most popular supports still are those Enchantresses, so you'll be seeing them more than the engaged supports for whatever reason. I don't know. People just like the skins, I guess, or yeah. Now, next up, if you don't want to play Blitzcrank, the next best hook support, this is going to be Nautilus, or maybe even the best one. Because of the buffs recently to Nautilus, so you're dealing more damage from your passive, your E, and your W getting the buffs that it got. Like the champion now, your all-in is just more bursty, right? Because that's what you are as a support. And when you have champions like Draven, Jhin, Aphelios even next patch, right? Because he's getting buffed next to you, your all-ins are just very, very scary indeed to play against, right? Nautilus as well doesn't really have many counters in the bot lane. You might think of something like maybe Braum or Leona, but even these champions a bit like Blitzcrank, they're not like innately OP, so even if you like hook them, you should be sweet. Just make sure, guys, against range matchups to take Glacial and probably Hex Flash as well, because if the enemy bot lane are double range champions, as soon as you blow their flashes and you have Hex Flash, you have a massive advantage over them. Just try to be creative with your Hex Flash, so use it over the bot lane walls, try to stay in fog, and you should be good to 1v9. So Nautilus is the penultimate champion, but the last champion, guys, mentioned in this video, this is Rakan. And Rakan honestly is probably the best like blind pick support. He's so versatile, you can engage, you can peel, you can do everything. And because of the recent buffs, whether it's to like your Q actually becoming like an ability, because the ratios went up, you'll be healing your AD carry for more, and also your W dealing more damage. This means that when you land your W, which should be doable on Rakan, it means even more. Just like Nautilus, right, landing a Q, your all-in is going to be deadlier, you're going to get more kills, you're going to be able to snowball, and actually just carry games. Those were the 15 most broken champions, guys, for 13.4. Once again, let me know in the comment section any of your thoughts, any of your ideas, and until our next Season 13 upload, this has been X. Peace.